This time, we are going to solve quadratic equations in three different ways. First is factoring. Second is by completing the square. And lastly, by using quadratic formula. Okay, let us solve this given. 2x squared minus 3 is equal to 5x. A quadratic equation not in standard form. First is to write it in standard form. So we have 2x squared minus 3 is equal to 5x. Standard form should be ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So we need to make the right hand side of the equation equal to 0. So to do that, we are going to apply addition property of equality, or we get the inverse of that 5x on the right side. So we will use minus 5x and make sure to use it on both sides of the equation. And now we rewrite this is equal to 0. We write this in standard form. So we have 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0. We now have the standard form of the quadratic equation. So now we have 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0, the standard form of the quadratic equation given a while ago. This time, let us use factoring. The first way to solve it is by factoring. Remember, our given has a first term's numerical coefficient is not 1. We have 2. So, to factor this, we may use trial and error. So, we can use x, and then here we have 2x, or we may have 2x and then x on the other side. And then the factors of negative 3, we may use positive 3 and negative 1. Okay, and then we check. So this is positive 6x and minus 1x. So it's not negative 5. So let's try this. Negative 3 and positive 1. This is negative 3x and positive 2x is still not negative 5x. Let's have another. How about x minus 3? Let's just interchange the numbers. And 2x plus 1. Okay, so this will be negative 6x and positive x. So negative 6x plus x is equal to negative 5x. So that's it. So we can use these factors and then equal to 0. Okay, then we continue this. X minus 3 is equal to 0 and 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. Then we solve each equation. We add 3 on both sides to find the value of x, which is equal to 3. And here we have subtract 1 on both sides. So we have 2x is equal to negative 1. Since this is 2 with a variable x, we need to make this x. We're looking for the value of x. So we multiply both sides by 1/2 to make 1/2 times 2 is equal to 1, which is 1 times x is equal to x. So we have on the other side, negative 1 times 1/2 is negative 1/2. So using factoring, we have two solutions, positive 3 and negative 1/2. Next, we will try to solve the same given using completing the square. is to write all the values with variables on the left hand side, where the constant should be on the right side. So we have 2x squared minus 5x, and then we add 3 on both sides to make it is equal to 3. And then we complete the left hand side of the equation by making it a perfect square trinomial. We make sure that the numerical coefficient of the first term is always 1. So before solving, we need to multiply both sides with 1/2. This will make the numerical coefficient of the first term equal to 1. 1/2 of 2 is 1 times x squared is x squared minus 1/2 of negative 5 is 5/2. X is equal to 3 times 1/2, 3/2. Then we make the left hand side of the equation perfect square trinomial. To do this, we need to get the half of the second term, which is, so if we have negative 5/2, we multiply it with 1/2, so that would be negative 5/4. This is the one that we're going to square. So negative 5 squared is 25 positive, and 4 squared is positive 16. This is the one that will complete a perfect square trinomial. So this will be positive 25/16. Don't forget to add both sides on both sides of the equation. Okay? We change the perfect square trinomial into a square of binomial. And to do that, we get the square root of x squared, so that would be x, and the square root of 25/16. The square root of 25 is 5. The square root of 16 is 4. Okay, and then copy the sign of the second term. Squared is equal to the sum of these two fractions. To find the sum of this, we use LCD of 2 and 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8 times 3 would be 24, plus 16 divided by 16 is 1 times 25 is 25. Then get the sum of the two. 24 plus 25 is 49 over the denominator 60. Okay, so that's it, the sum of the two. And then we use extracting of the roots. So we extract by using the square root of both sides. We cancel this. We have x minus 5/4 is equal to the square root of 49/16, which is positive and negative square root of 49, 7, and square root of 16, 4. Continue to solve this in two ways, in two parts. So we have x minus 5/4 is equal to positive 7/4, and the other one is x minus 5/4 is equal to negative 7/4. Then we solve these equations, subtract or add 5/4 on both sides of the equation to make this equal to 0. So now x is equal to 7 plus 5, that would be 12/4. 12/4 is equal to, correct, positive 3. On the other side, we have to add 5/4 on both sides of the equation. And then, so this is 0. we now have x left is equal to negative 7 plus 5 is negative 2 over 4. And the lowest term for negative 2/4 is equal to negative 1/2. You see? Third way, which is applying quadratic formula. So, to be able to use this, we need to find the values of a, b, and c from our equation. So, our a is positive 2, b is negative 5, our c is negative 3. And then substitute each of these values to our formula. X equals negative value of b, negative 5, plus and minus the square root of negative 5 squared minus 4 times the value of a and the value of c, which is negative 3, over 2a, which is, the value of a is 2. Then we continue solving this given. Negative times negative is positive 5, plus and minus the square root of negative 5 squared, 25. Negative times positive, negative. Negative times negative is positive. 2 times 4, 8 times 3 is 24. Okay, over 2 times 2 is 4. Now let's combine 25 and 24. That would be, okay, very good. So that would be the square root of 49 over 4. Okay, so what's the square root of 49? Good. So that would lead us to 5 plus and minus 7 over 4. So we rewrite this as, so x is equal to 5 plus 7 over 4, and the other one is 5 minus 7 over 4. So 5 plus 7 is 12 over 4. What is 12 divided by 4? Very good. So that would be x is 3. On the other side, we have x is equals to 5 minus 7. Okay, is negative 2 over 4. Lowest term of this is, yes, negative 1/2. As you see, this will be our last way of solving, and we have the same roots or solutions